Hello, 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 and welcome. This is Her Talk Show, and my name is Sabrina Victoria. I am here with Debbie Roppo, and we are going to be talking all about perimenopause and menopause. Is it changing the way you lead and build? I love this conversation. I'm right in the middle of all this, so I'm going to be asking all the juicy questions. If you're listening live, welcome. If you're listening on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you are listening to us at. Let's jump in. All right, we're here every day delving deep into the realms of health, wealth, and leadership with some of the most brilliant women globally. I've interviewed well over 800 women, and today we are adding another one to the list. We have Debbie Roppo. She is a board-certified health and wellness coach and creator of the Inner Empire. She works with women who lead through the menopause journey, reframing this season as the upgrade phase. Her work treats health as a business strategy, strengthening the body and mind so energy, clarity, and leadership capacity remain steady for the long game. I can't even tell you how many individuals, as you know, I talk to hundreds of women business owners a quarter, and the conversation around perimenopause and menopause is so prevalent that I can't even imagine it not changing the way these women are showing up in their business, the way they are leading their homes, their teams, their clients in business. So super excited to be talking about this.
Yeah, full agreement. It changes every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of curious as far as how do we know? I kind of want to open up with that. How do we know? Should we be going to the doctor, basically, is my question.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so much is getting blamed on it. And is it really? Or is it that we're just so overwhelmed with our children? A lot of our children are grown at this point, right? The majority of listeners here at Her Talk Show are elder millennials, Gen Xers, baby boomers. We got, older children who are married or divorced, like so much life. There's so much life. And I know that our health many times takes a back burner. So how do we know it's just not we're eating shitty versus we're actually having crazy menopausal issues? Should we be going to the doctor? Should we be self-diagnosing ourselves? Because I feel like that's what's happening.
This is perfect. Why? Perfect question. Because number one, yes, I think we should go to the doctor and get tested. We need to find out what's really going on. But the part that's because I'm functional medicine, we look at root causes. When you start to go through perimenopause and menopause, how we know what that journey is going to look like is greatly determined by your metabolic health. So when you said, is it just eating healthy or not eating healthy? Well, that's going to determine or be a big factor in how you're going to experience menopause. We know in Asian countries, they don't have the same experience as menopause as we do in the US, right? It's not so dramatic because of their metabolic health is so much better than ours.
Really?
Yeah. So to me, that's like a really big deal because and I work with women about this every day, that oh my God, I'm going into perimenopause. Oh shit. We're going to go downhill. It's going to get ugly. It doesn't have to be. It's really a lot about your metabolic health. And when we shift up our metabolic health, our weight, the way we eat, handle stress, all of those different areas, it will support how we go through this part of our phase.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that changes so much for me because one of the things that just my own personal story here, one of the things that I kind of decided to just put on the back burner is this whole thought of that I'm stepping into perimenopause. Now, am I? I totally could be. But so many of the things, the brain fog, the lull midday, the can't concentrate, every time I would just mention it, just like in passing, oh, it must be that you're entering, perimenopause. And I'm like, screw that. I'm not down with that. And so I have really, over the last maybe 6 or so months, been concentrating more so on the things that I'm eating, the amount of exercise that I'm making myself do. Um, and there has been a drastic change in the way that I'm showing up in my day to day. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's a link. That is a real link. And I wanted to highlight something you said there, because I think this is really important. You said, you just thinking about perimenopause, you're like, oh no, we're putting that, that ain't happening. And the reason is because we believe that this means decline.
Can I say something really fast?
Yeah.
When I Googled, because I have to make the thumbnail,
Yeah.
right? And when I put menopause in the search in Canva to get a back photo for us, every picture, there was like 500 pictures of women being like, laying down, crying, grabbing their stomach, which I don't even know if that was a thing. That was weird. And out of like 100, like I say, 500 depressing gray photos, there was like 10 of like women like smiling.
Yeah.
So yes, that is, and it's not even like we're being marketed that.
100%.
Yeah, I was mad because I'm like, I know this isn't what Debbie's talking about. We're not getting on here right now and talking about how this is so bad. She's going to come out here and say the exact opposite. But then I'm looking at these photos. It's like, this is why, because we're being marketed to think.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah. That's why I call this the upgrade phase. Because again, to pretend like you're not going to notice anything is not realistic. You do shift, but this is the part that's so important. You're not declining, you're upgrading. So there's neural pathways in your brain that start clipping, right? And they start saying, you know what? We don't really give a shit about what they think anymore. We start pruning the things that no longer serve us. It's really to create that wise woman of the village. And so we think of it as this decline. We're going to get old and everything's going to get worse, but it doesn't have to feel that way. And so that's my message. That's what I teach. That's what I coach. I'm through menopause pretty much. I feel stronger, healthier than I ever have in my entire life.
Wow.
And the clarity, I get it because I went through it. My first journey of a health crisis was in 2013, diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I couldn't get out of bed. My whole world just crashed. I couldn't move. I couldn't even lift the covers off of my blanket, right?
Wow.
Off of my body, the blanket off of my body. It's just the pain. I crawled on my hands and knees to the bathroom because my joints were so swollen. So it knocked me out. And I felt like I lost control. And when I hit perimenopause, it was the second time I had that experience. I felt like, shit, what is going on? I want to kill everybody. And that's not my personality, right? I'm exhausted. I can't sleep, all of these symptoms. And when I started to dive into it and I realized, wait a minute, I'm getting this because of my lifestyle. And again, you're going to go through it and that part's okay. But how you go through it greatly is determined by, how you set yourself up for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good. So I know that you talk a lot about, and you might have already said it, but recalibrating.
Yeah.
So your body is recalibrating how it creates energy, focus, and resilience. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So the way you functioned at 20, you are not going to be able to function the same way in this phase. And this is what women think, oh no, it's a decline. It's not a decline, it's just different.
Got
It's
it.
not like if you're climbing a mountain, you could maybe in your 20s run up the mountain and, leap over things, and you're traveling through it and you just keep pushing, your body's like, go for it. At this phase, it's different. And so for me, what I really like to help women think about is that you're still climbing the mountain, you're still going up, and you can still go at a nice rapid pace, but you got to stop. You got to have some recovery time. When you do have your recovery time, make sure that it is recovery, that you're restoring yourself. Right? You got to make sure you have more snacks in your backpack than you did when you were 20. Once it served your body. And so you have it. That's that recalibration. It's not that it's a decline, though. It's truly just a shift in how you're doing. You just have to do things different and see things different. And you can have this incredible journey and still summit and still do the things that you want to do. I'm busier now than when I was in my 20s, right? I work a lot harder, but I do it different.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And when we're talking about food, like nourishing our body, we joke about snacks. What is the difference between the way we used to versus how we should be at this age?
Right. I call it, and I'm glad that we're allowed to swear on this podcast. Yeah. How I help women remember is I say pop AF. So pop as fuck. If you want to be pop as fuck, then this is how you want to eat. And it's the P is for protein, making sure you get good protein in every meal. This is a whole meal. This is what I like how I eat, right?
Yeah.
O, omega-3s. Those are your nice healthy fats. We need that, especially for our brain health.
Is that like avocado and coconut
Yes,
oil?
avocado, olive oil, all that type of, and these low fat diets are killing women, and it's creating menopause and perimenopause symptoms worse than they need to be, right? Because of all this low fat. So you want your omegas in there, and you want a probiotic. I have a probiotic with every meal. So kimchi, sauerkrauts, those types of foods. The A is the antioxidants. Those are your berries and I do rainbow eating. So your greens, purples, blues, you want to think about all of that. And then F, fiber, the foods that have high fiber in it. And that's kind of a pocket. If you can get that in your daily meals, then it's going to reduce the amount of symptoms you have in menopause. There's other factors, of course. If you're lathering yourself up with, really chemical-laden creams and makeup, it's going to mess with your hormones and make the symptoms worse. If you're drinking water that's not pure, there's all these other, but that's a great when it comes to the food part.
So it's POP, POPAF.
Yeah, POP AF. Yeah.
And then so it's P is for protein, O is for like omega-3.
Yeah. Probiotics, antioxidants, and fiber.
And fiber.
Yeah.
Is butter anywhere in there, or should we always be using
olive oil? Yeah. So yeah, I love butter, but I do grass-fed butter. It's a whole different ballgame than just regular butter. So I use that. And one of the things that trigger inflammation and that type of thing is the sugar spikes. So one of the things I do is with my clients is, and if you don't want it ready to change yet, that's okay, stack. So if you're going to eat something sweet, stack a protein or a fiber in front of it. If I eat a cookie by itself, big spike, it's going to cause cravings and more symptoms. If I add a little hand of nuts before that, or some fibrous type, a nice little salad or something before it, right? Okay, maybe not a salad before a cookie, but you know what I'm trying to say. But if you do that, then you eat that same exact cookie and it's less of a spike. So then it's going to cut down on those symptoms, and it cuts down on that sugar spike, which supports you. So there's all these little tricks that you can use still living your life, still doing your thing, but to help it not, the symptoms not be so dramatic in the menopause.
So almost combining
Yeah.
one of these with something that's not
Yeah.
so
And it's in front of,
in
right?
front of.
So if you eat a fibrous food, it goes into your body and it kind of puts a net around. Imagine like putting a net around. So then you eat the sugar thing, and the sugar thing can kind of travel through instead of going in, because the net's kind of protecting. That's
Got
kind of
it.
the analogy that I like to use with it. So, and the protein like grabs it, holds, it's like, okay, come on, sugar, I'm going to pull you through here, as opposed to just eating straight up sugar component,
Um,
carb component.
I have a question about that, but
Yeah.
beforehand, we have Lupita, listening live. Are you saying birth control? Can you just let me know if this is birth control, Lupita? Um, so one of the thought process with you saying this, and I don't even know where I got this from. This is just like in my brain.
Yeah.
I have this thought that like if I, and let me know if this is right or not, or aligned with what you're saying. I eat dinner. Oh, I almost always have, green, some sort of a green, with whatever I'm eating, a meat and a carb. And then within an hour, if I'm deciding to eat dessert, I have to eat my dessert within an hour, because in my brain, I feel like I'm kind of tricking my body. Like it'll just kind of like invisibly like be in and amongst all the nutrients, that it'll just be like hidden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
If
that
it's
kind
an
of the same
hour
concept, or like
out, you're
not at all?
probably still going to spike, right? You'll probably still spike. And everyone's, there's individuality. So it's going to matter. But what I'm trying to share really is that stacking piece. So if you can put something in front of, they did a study where they ate the same exact meal, but they just did it in a different order. So same calories, same food. And they did where they, the bread first. I think it was a pasta meal. So the bread first, then they ate the pasta, and then a lot of Italians, then they eat the salad at the end, right? So they do it that way, and then they switch it up and they put the salad in front. You eat the meatballs, and then you eat the rest of it. And the spike was huge. Like on those, glucose monitors, it was quite different. And those spikes get us in trouble when we're in the perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause stage. It's in all areas, but in that area as well, right? It gets us in trouble because it creates cravings. Again, it's part of the why we have more symptoms, right? Because of these sugar spikes that we're having. How we handle glucose in the body greatly matters to what our symptoms will look
So
like.
we should be eating the salad first
Yeah.
before the bread.
Yeah. And that's why
They always serve you the bread first.
I know when they come to the table, you want the bread, and I'll just like after the salad. And okay,
Dude,
so
that's smart, because it'll sit there. A
simple.
lot of times I'll wait to eat it just with my meal, because I'm
Yeah.
like, you eat the bread and then you start eating your meal, and then, oh, I wish I had bread with the meal. So then you're eating double bread.
Yeah.
So I'll not every time, many times eat the bread, wait.
Yeah.
So I eat it with my meal. But
Yeah.
you're saying salad,
Yeah.
then everything else, and then it's better.
Fiber protein before the carb stuff.
Wow.
Supports you.
Wow.
It's one piece of it. Of course, with menopause and perimenopause, there's sleep and there's mindset, and there's so many, movement is huge. So there's so many components that you need to look at, but that's definitely a nice piece of it.
Got it. So I apologize, Lupita. Birth control and breast cancer are two totally different things. So I apologize tremendously for that. I hope that you are okay. And this is interesting. Went to early menopause because of breast cancer. Is that a thing, Debbie?
Yeah. So I don't want to step out of my lane of expertise, but just to share this part, one of the things that happens, I have quite a few women that are cancer survivors, and the treatment that we get for cancer can, it really puts the body into a huge struggle. It's challenging, right? You do it because you're getting rid of your cancer, right? But and it also is very challenging on the body. So personally, some of the women that I've worked with, we've had to really kind of reintroduce their microbiome and different parts of their health, along with their doctor, obviously, to help support that so that their symptoms can reduce.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And good to know that you're doing well.
Yes.
If you have any questions, by the way, Debbie's here. So if you have anything, there you go.
Yay. Yay. Good
There
for
you go.
you.
Yeah. For those of you listening on audio and not visual, Lupita said she's definitely eating a well-balanced meal and it has helped.
Yeah.
Meals and it's helped. That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really appreciate that you talk about often, Debbie, is that eating healthy, right? Tending to your body, it isn't just self-care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we're talking predominantly to women business owners here, women who are leaders, women who are, you know, have huge things happening in their life. And I know that you talk a lot about how it isn't just self-care, it's actually an entire business strategy.
Yes.
I'd love for you to kind of dive into that. What does that exactly mean? Why are you saying this?
Yep. Yeah, so I created the inner empire. And what that is your inner empire, your cells, everything from your cells to how you eat, to how you talk to yourself, that whole inner part of you, that entire thing is the resource for your outer empire that you're building. Right. So if you imagine a kingdom and you've got the castle and then you've got everything else out there. If I'm out there trying to fix all these outside things and my freaking castle's crumbling,
Yep.
where it just doesn't make any sense. We're going backward. We're putting the cart before the horse. So I really, with all of my women, they're all incredible. Some of them are retired and they're doing amazing things, or they're in business currently. You know, CEOs, they're doing big work, and I really try to help them see, because what we normally do as women is fix and help everything, including our business, our lot, all our other people's lives, and our health. We'll do that as soon as I'm not busy. I get this every single day coaching. Oh, well, I'm going to start working on that, but and then they start telling me all the things to me, that's a bit like you're running low on the gas tank and you go up and you look at a gas station, you say, oh, well, I'll get that later. And you just drive by it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And then you're out in the middle of the field somewhere and you're like screwed.
Yeah.
Right. A perfect example. I have a client who, doing big things, making $25,000 for keynote speaking, right? Doing amazing work, and started to get little symptoms, things going on. And she just didn't really pay attention, just kind of kept putting them on the back burner. Oh, I'll take care. Yeah, you're right. I know. All right. That voice, you really should do something about this. Those whispers, you really should do something about this, and just keep putting them back. And her body crashed.
Wow.
And she wasn't able to leave her house. Really. Her body just really literally crashed. And that's what I want to prevent women from doing. And not just to the point of not crashing. But if you want to, especially if you're menopause phase, perimenopause, you want to be able to come up with that name of that person that just walked in the room that you're in the middle of a business meeting and you have all your notes, but then they start talking about another topic. Are you able to come up and know exactly what they're talking about because your memory is sharp? Are you able to show up at 3:00 feeling vibrant and alive and ready to go? Or are you dragging your body through the day? Right. So all of this is part of your business strategy. It's not something we want to put on the back burner.
Wow. Yeah, totally agree. And what a great analogy as far as the going down the road, you're low on gas and just passing by the gas station. I know I've even in real life done that. It's like I'm a fanatic about being on time.
Yeah.
And luckily nothing drastic happened, but where I am, I'm like passing gas stations. I don't have time to go park, pump, pay, because I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
And I make a choice. And when you make that choice, like if I did that over and over and over and over again,
Mhm.
dude, the car's going to run out of gas.
Exactly.
Dude,
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so what a great reminder as far as making sure that we're getting in. Debbie and I were on a panel either last week or the week before where she was talking about daily steps.
Hmm.
So something as simple as doubling your daily steps, doing simple things.
Yeah.
Simple things to double your steps. One of the things that I brought up was parking at the back of a parking lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Easy way. I know so many times we drive around and around and around just trying to find the perfect front spot when you could have already just parked in the back and already been in the store if you would have walked.
Yeah.
Um, Easy way to double your steps and to improve your health.
Yeah. Convenience is dangerous.
Absolutely.
Right. I use it too, but there's certain things that there you have all these, because I was diagnosed with RA, right? That's a joint disease. Well, the stronger your muscles are around your joints, the less they have to work. So oftentimes I'll be going to open a jar and I can't really do it. And my boyfriend, well, here, let me help you. And I was like, no, let me keep, and I work on it. Right. When I go out and I carry the groceries, I carry it at an L position so that my arms are flexed the entire time.
Love that.
Right. If I have an opportunity to take the stairs, I take the stairs. And a lot of
Absolutely.
women that I work with have, maybe some serious weight issues. And so I can't, there's no way I could go up 5 flights, go up one and then take the 4, go hop in the elevator and go the 4. The blue zones, and I know that we're running on timer, but the blue zones is all about health, aging with vitality and fun and zero disease. They live into their hundreds, right? Living their best lives. They don't go to the gym. They don't have these strict health regimens. They just choose really, really healthy food. They have incredible community. They move their bodies naturally in as many ways as they can. It's not as challenging as the diet health world wants to make you to believe that it is. With that said, there is a lot of lies out there. So you're eating diet food because you think it's good for you and it's loaded with chemicals and it's not healthy.
Yeah.
And so there are these other caveats that are in there. And that's why you need a health coach to help you through all that.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. As we're kind of wrapping up here, I'd love to talk a little bit about the nervous system, how to, the importance of regulating it and leadership, right? We're talking about women in business, women who run teams, women who have clients, women who are running a household.
Yeah.
How important is it for us to regulate our nervous system in order to make sure that we're showing up as the best leader possible?
Yeah, it's just top of the pack. Our nervous system really determines how we experience the outside world, right? And one of the things that I talk about, there's a million of them, but one of the things that I really like to highlight with the nervous system is any stimuli that comes in, it goes through a filter and basically we'll just say in the brain, and then it turns out as your truth. So much of our experience when it comes to the nervous system isn't actually what's happening, it's our perception to what's happening. Right. So one woman will open up her emails and she's got 100 emails and she's like, holy shit, oh my God. And the nervous system is going off tap. And there's another one that'll open up and they're like, okay, all right, what do we do? Let's go. So it's not the stimuli that I like to focus on so much is the perception of the stimuli. And that's what I help women see. And when you walk into a space and you're able to see it different, then you react different. So we got work. We got things to do. There's stuff going on that we have to take care of. But if we can see it different and perceive it different, and we do this with the body, making sure that the body's got all of it needs to help regulate a lot of stories. Like, what are we telling ourselves? If we don't think we're worthy and all these different things, then that's going to affect our nervous system, the environment that we're in. Are you able to restore? Can you go home and just be like, oh, all right, and just let all go, or you go home and you're still in this agitated state. So there's all these different components. And it is, in my personal view, when it comes to leadership, it's again, just top of the pack. How you handle, just like this. I hop on this call live, here we go chatting. I don't have any nervous system problem. I'm not stressed because my perception is that I'm here to serve. I got a great woman that's going to help me along the conversation. It's going to host me, right? It's my perception of it. But if I walked in here and said, I'm not good enough, what if this, then my nervous system is going to feel a whole different ballgame. And that's what I try to help women kind of experience, to see it and change it up. And then sometimes I also say, get rid of all those nasty people in your life.
Absolutely.
Right? Get your nervous system healthy.
Absolutely. Well, this has been great. So appreciate it. Love the acronym POP AF. That's fabulous. I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about the Inner Empire. For those of us listening live, which there's a ton of you listening live, we see you. Thank you for being here. If you are listening to us on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you're at so we can send you some love in the comments. But the Inner Empire, tell us more about what that is and who should be connecting to you. Who do you work with?
Yeah. The Inner Empire to me is that badass woman within you. She runs it. She's in charge. And sometimes she's not. And my job is to help you get her in charge of your kingdom, right? Your empire, because your outer empire will only be as grand and as strong, as amazing as your inner empire that you have within you. And so that's who I work with. I work with women who have grand dreams, that want to create, that see that their aging isn't a decline. It's actually, we get to unveil ourselves and not worry about what everyone's thinking. We get to prune our brains so that we start aligning with what our real truth is. And when we do that, then we show up in our families, our communities, our jobs, our lives in a completely different way. So for me, the inner empire is that inner wise woman who we really have to unveil and make sure she comes out, because she's been hidden for too long for so many women.
So good. So good. And where can people find you, to work with you, to follow you?
My website, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all Debbie Roppo Health Coach.
Debbie Roppo Health Coach. Roppo is ROPPO. If you're listening to us on the audio, if you're listening to us live here, video, take a screenshot. You can see all of her info right underneath her face area. To those of you that are resonating with Debbie and all the goodness that she shared today, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, right?
Yep.
Her website. We love to connect, right? We love to connect individuals just in general. So make sure that you follow, like, and share. Any closing thoughts, Debbie, as we wrap up here?
You're a hell of a lot more than you think you are, darling. That's what I want to say.
I love that.
That there's your heart and your dreams and the things that you have in you you're worthy of them.
Yeah.
Go after them. Yeah. Step up. You're not declining. You're upgrading. This is an incredible time in your life. Don't you dare let it be anything other than that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of yet another incredible episode of Her Talk Show. Thank you, Debbie Roppo, for sharing your wisdom and inspiring us all. To our dedicated listeners, thank you for staying with us until the very end. Remember to follow, like, and share this video with somebody who you think would really appreciate listening to it. Once again, I am your host, Sabrina Victoria, and I invite you to join our amazing community. We have a community of women business owners called Her Nation Global, where we continue to uplift each other every step of the way. Our links, Debbie's links and my links, are both in the description below, wherever you are watching us at. And we look forward to seeing you, meeting you, and speaking to you. Until next time, as always,